Lima Barreto, a name often whispered in Brazilian literature, stands as a beacon of social critique and literary innovation. Born in 1881, during the twilight of Brazilian slavery, Barreto's life and works reflect the tumultuous socio-political landscape of his time. His masterpiece, Triste Fim de Policarpo Quaresma, reflects on Brazilian nationalism and disillusionment. Barreto's life mirrored the struggles of his protagonist, Policarpo Quaresma. Both were fervent patriots invested in a utopian Brazil. Yet both faced harsh realities of social inequalities and racial prejudice. Barreto's observations imbued his writing with raw honesty. Through his protagonist's journey, Barreto unveils societal hypocrisy. He challenges romanticized nationalism, exposing the gap between ideals and reality. His work questions the fabric of Brazilian identity. Barreto's legacy extends beyond literature. He stands as a symbol of resistance and social justice. Born Afonso Henriques de Lima Barreto into a humble family in Rio de Janeiro, Barreto's early life was marked by both hardship and intellectual curiosity. His father, João Henriques, was a typographer, while his mother, Amália Augusta, was a teacher. Despite their modest means, they instilled in young Afonso a love for learning and a strong sense of social justice. Tragedy struck early in Barreto's life with the declining mental health of his mother, eventually leading to her institutionalization. This experience left an indelible mark on the young Barreto, exposing him to the harsh realities of social inequality and the inadequacies of the mental health system. Despite facing financial difficulties, Barreto pursued his education, enrolling in the prestigious Colégio Pedro II. He excelled in his studies, particularly in languages and literature, demonstrating a natural aptitude for writing. However, his academic journey was cut short due to financial constraints, forcing him to abandon his aspirations of attending law school. Undeterred, Barreto sought employment to support himself and his family. He worked as a clerk in the Ministry of War, a position that brought him face to face with the bureaucratic inefficiencies and corruption that plagued Brazilian society. These experiences would later serve as rich fodder for his writing, informing his sharp critiques of the Brazilian government and its institutions. Published in 1915, Triste Fim de Policarpo Quaresma stands as Lima Barreto's magnum opus, a poignant and satirical novel that encapsulates the author's disillusionment with Brazilian society and its unfulfilled promises. The novel follows the life and tragic downfall of Policarpo Quaresma, an idealistic and patriotic civil servant consumed by his love for Brazil. Policarpo, a man of routine and unwavering principles, dedicates his life to the betterment of his nation. He immerses himself in Brazilian culture, from its music and folklore to its indigenous languages. He believes in the potential of his homeland, envisioning a utopian Brazil free from corruption, inequality, and foreign influence. However, Policarpo's unwavering idealism blinds him to the realities of Brazilian society. His attempts to implement his utopian visions are met with resistance, ridicule, and ultimately betrayal. He fails to grasp the entrenched power structures, the pervasive corruption, and the deep-seated social inequalities that plague his beloved nation. Through Policarpo's tragic journey, Barreto masterfully critiques the romanticized notions of nationalism prevalent in Brazilian society. He unveils the hypocrisy and contradictions inherent in the pursuit of a national identity, exposing the gap between idealized visions of Brazil and the lived experiences of its marginalized citizens. Lima Barreto's Triste Fim de Policarpo Quaresma serves as a scathing indictment of Brazilian society, exposing the hypocrisy, corruption, and social injustices that festered beneath the veneer of progress and national unity. Through Policarpo's experiences, Barreto dissects the complexities of Brazilian nationalism and the challenges of forging a cohesive national identity in a nation grappling with its colonial past and vast social inequalities. Barreto challenges the prevailing narratives of Brazilian nationalism, which often glorified the country's European heritage while marginalizing the contributions of its African and indigenous populations. He critiques the Eurocentric ideals that permeated Brazilian society, from its language and culture to its institutions and power structures. The novel lays bare the stark realities of social inequality in Brazil. Policarpo's encounters with poverty, racism, and exploitation reveal the plight of the marginalized and disenfranchised. Barreto's portrayal of these issues is unflinching, forcing readers to confront the uncomfortable truths that many preferred to ignore. Moreover, Barreto criticizes the Brazilian government's inefficiency and corruption. Policarpo's experiences as a civil servant exposed the bureaucratic red tape, nepotism, and self-serving interests that hindered progress and perpetuated social injustices.